7 runs. This one's popped up towards first.
That's a hit.
Counts, dives. He can't get it, and made a good effort at it, but couldn't quite get to it, and it bounced off the dirt, and Medley reaches on an infield single. Just another one of those where it was one of those almost again for Ridgeview, as now the bases are loaded.
14. It was 13.
For Jordan Dixon.
It's 14. It's hard to look at. The funny thing is we're looking out there with 14 hits. You think we would have more than 7 runs.
4 hits with 2 outs this inning.
Yeah. You would think it'd be more than 7 runs, because there's times where we have 10 runs and 5 hits. So
that's 10 left on base in the last 5 innings for the Cats. Could be more here as the bases are loaded for Jordan Dixon, and he popped out last time he was up with the bases loaded to the first baseman as it's 1-0.
See what we can do here. If we get a big hit here and going to end this ball game.
Yep, 7-0. Dixon grounds it to second. Sykes fields, and he'll flip underhand over to second, barely in time to get Medley. It goes fielder's choice to end the inning, 4-6, and the Cats will come back out for defense. They score 1 that inning on 4 hits, all with 2 outs, no errors, and the bases left loaded. So that's 13 left on base through 6 innings, and that's going to be a talking point for Coach Daniels if the Cats can survive this last half inning. Is that you got to finish? You're going to have to take advantage of those situations. It's situational baseball,
and it has to be. Give Ridgeview some credit. They got out of those situations with minimum damage, but you can't afford to do that in playoff time. And I talked about that. We seem like before the game, we seem like we always come away with those big hits in crucial situations, and we really haven't done it tonight.
I think Taz will just let off the bottom of the 8th with a double. I'm pretty sure, because it's been about 12 minutes since we went into extras, according to a report we've gotten. So that game's coming down to the wire. Tazewell might hang on over Union. Union, the scrappy team. And the Battle just beat Union in the Mountain District Championship on, I think it was Friday, and it was 5-2 in that one.
Well, then you wonder.
Rematch.
Well, you wonder, Tazewell, did they pitch Willis, or at some point it's an extra inning? At some point, you would think that he probably pitched at some point today.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, that's going to be the most important thing I think out of all this is whoever wins, who did you pitch and how long?
Right.
Because you got to play again on Thursday or on Wednesday. But we'll just have to see. We're not getting any report on who's pitching, unfortunately. But if we had one, we'd definitely have a better idea of what's happening.
Just one little change makes this game that more interesting now, just by the pitch count, because you can't just turn around and pitch a kid like the very next game or pitch him like 2 days later.
It was 2-0 Union after 5 innings, but Tazewell able to tie it up in the 7th inning. So hung around there. Ridgeview's down to their final shot here, trailing 7-0. As starting off the inning, it's 7-8-9. Blankenship takes a first pitch strike, and ever since Haas, he walked the leadoff man, but then he subsequently picked him off right after that, and then he struck out the next 2, and Haas is on a mini roll. This one a swing through strike, 0-2.
I mean, if you're Nolan right now, just continue to throw strikes. I mean, your defense has played well today for the most part. We got 2 errors, but
the Cats have scored in every inning except for the second, as that one swung through strike 3, and 2 more outs here in the Region 2D quarterfinal for the Bearcats before we can officially say they're moving on. And Ridgeview down to Lucas Deal and Brady Counts.
Is that his 3rd strikeout?
Cameron Carroll going to pinch hit. Yeah, it's 3 strikeouts in a row for Nolan Haas.
So he has to pick off.
That one's a called strike.
So the pick-off play, so just walk, then pick off, and then so nobody.
Yeah. 4 straight balls, and since then I don't think he's thrown a ball, but a couple. It's just
I don't think
swing through strike 0-2.
They have. I don't know if they've touched the pitch yet. Foul one off or anything.
Here's the 0-2. Haas working quickly, and that one misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Cats leading here in the top of the 7th inning, as it's the last chance for the Wolfpack. Wind and fire from Haas, 1-2, misses low as it skirts the ground, and we'll do it again, 2-2.
But right now when Nolan's confident right now and he's throwing strikes and they're swinging, I mean, that's why he's pitching so quick. Get the hitters off balance.
2-2 on the way. This one right down the middle. Strike 3 looking, and let's keep the streak going. 4 straight strikeouts. That's the first of the looking variety. As now Counts comes to the plate. So Cameron Carroll comes off the bench to pinch hit, and Haas wipes him away on 4 pitches.
If you're Ridgeview, when a pitcher's hot like this and they're pitching so quickly, you want a second to take a breather because they're not hitting anything. He's just striking. They're coming to the plate. He's just striking them out.
I believe this is also a pinch hitter. Jaden Chester going to represent the last chance for Ridgeview as he takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty coming in to pinch hit. This one flared into right field. Davidson with a good diving effort, but it'll get through for a base hit. Just a little seeing-eye single for the pinch hitter, Chester. And a base hit with 2 outs keeps Ridgeview alive in this region quarterfinal. Just 6-0 or 7-0. Cats will lead it.
But here's the thing. If
Chester over there dealing with something in his leg, might be cramping up on him as he hit the bag. They're going to send. Actually, they're just going to check on him. I believe he's all right. So now back to the top of the order. Carson Sykes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
If you're Virginia High and you can kind of get this from Nolan, that's just another arm that you kind of bring in games late, and to get Dixon and get Zach out of games.
Keep them out of that over that 75 limit if you can get them that far. I think we can get a lot more out of Zach than what we got today as far as throwing strikes.
Right.
Because I know he's got it in him.
But you look up there.
He still had a great day.
Right,
he took a lot of pitches to get there. Is what I'm saying.
Right, he wasn't as sharp, but still, good day with just 7 strikeouts. You said 7 strikeouts, 0 runs.
Then he's had a good year. Whenever I'm saying he didn't pitch all that well, and he pitched 5 innings. 5 innings, 4 hits for Griffiths. That one misses down and away. 1-1 to Carson Sykes. Tyler O'Quinn is on deck for the Wolfpack as we're in the top of the 7th of the Region 2D quarterfinal. 7-0 Bearcats ahead of Ridgeview. This one's down for a ball. 2-1.
Right now,
last out seems to be the toughest one to get.
And it is. You get excited. You look up there. We just need one more out. And we won. In our mind, we've won the game, but you got to get this last out.
This pitch misses low and bounces off a mouse. They're going to try to take second. The throw down, not in time, as a stolen base for Chester. Gets into scoring position with 2 outs on the wild pitch.
And if you're Nolan right now, you just got to concentrate on throwing strikes. Don't walk this guy. Throw strikes. If he gets a hit, that run scores. It's not a big deal. It's still 7-1. Focus on throwing strikes.
You're at 3-1, and now they're going to bring in Brady Counts to run for Chester, the original hitter that he pinch hit for. So we already have 1 spot taken of the 4 that can move on, of the 8 that made it to the Region 2D playoffs. As John Battle punched their ticket into the semifinal, or the semifinals on Wednesday. 3-1 on the way, misses high and bounces off the glove of Mouse and goes to the backstop, and runners will be on the corners. Not gotten any update here from Tazewell. I'm sure we'll get something here soon, though.
Of course, when you have a good game that's tight, it's a playoff game.
No one updates. Yeah. John Battle's pretty good about it, but looks like we're going to be a little slow and getting the other game in. There's nothing happening right now online as far as updates. It's just standing. There's one new tweet. Actually, it's just a regular tweet, though. Keep getting hopeful we're going to see that final score of the Tazewell game. That one misses down and away. 1-0 count to Tyler O'Quinn. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Can get Ridgeview a little closer here if he can come through. As now it's 2-0, and Haas is back. And this is missing the zone.
Well, this is what you don't want. If you're Nolan, just throw strikes. Because if you walk this kid here, it puts 2 guys in running position. Scoring position. A base hit might score 2. It's 3-0.
That one misses, 3-0. And this is not what you want to see after a guy was on a roll. He struck out 4 in a row before we got to 2 outs here in the 7th. And now he's in danger of walking the bases loaded in a game where we're not all that far in front, even though there is already 2 outs in the 7th. It's strike inside corner, and it's 3-1.
And even the base hit he gave up was just kind of like a little.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't
it wasn't a hard. It just kind of in the perfect place there.
Pitch on the way, 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. And Ridgeview's down to their final strike of the afternoon as the Bearcats try to close this one out. Good crowd on hand on this Monday, Memorial Day Monday evening. Haas from the stretch gets a sign from Mouse. The pitch on the way inside. Strike 3, and the Cats are moving on. As that's a strikeout looking, and Haas gets his 5th strikeout of the day. And talk about coming in and getting some outs for the Bearcats when we needed it. He did it, and he finished it off and kept a shutout intact, and the Bearcats are going to win this one 7-0 over the Ridgeview Wolfpack. 7 runs on 14 hits, 2 errors for Virginia High, no runs, 5 hits and 3 errors on the Ridgeview Wolfpack, and really it came down to timely hitting, and the Bearcats stranded 13 hitters on the afternoon. That definitely wasn't the offensive performance we wanted. We ended up playing 7. And I know a lot of people might not have thought that, but this Ridgeview team showed up today, and they hit the ball early. We talked about Griffith holding hitters sub 200. They were able to get a few hits off of Zach whenever he made mistakes, and they showed that, that even though they finished 5th in the Mountain District, because Abingdon steps up, you sort of gain a spot, so they kind of snuck in. Whereas on our side, we lost our 4 seed to Grayson as Graham got kicked out, but. I think all in all, Ridgeview's got to be happy with the way they play. They just couldn't get a run across.
Like I said, playoff time. You just got to get in. 1 versus a 4, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people around Bristol, a lot of people around the area probably thought this would be an easy matchup. And look up 7-0. That's not really close. It's closer than what when you watch this game. It's a little bit closer than it needed to be or should have been, because if we got a couple hits in those situations, then we would have won 10-0 in the 5th. But you take the win. You maybe didn't play as well as you that you wanted to, but we'll take it and move on.
Tazewell won 3-2 over Union. So there's your other final, as I just got that one in on Twitter. So Tazewell's held on to beat Union 3-2. Now the interesting thing is, did they use Sidney Willis, because they're going to have to face John Battle. And
you would think extra innings at some point.
He probably had to, in an 8-inning ball game. So they get away with a win there. Tazewell does, and that sort of sets up the bracket. We've got one game, of course, left, and it'll be tomorrow at 5 o'clock as Wise Central takes on Grayson County, a game that got pushed back to tomorrow due to the rain. So,
where is that at, Grayson?
It's at Wise Central. Okay. So that'll be an interesting matchup, to say the least. And really, we've had some good games. Our game ended up being the largest deficit or largest difference in runs, and we were only 7-0.
Well, in that first round, you got to continue to think about the next game. You got to think about the championship game. For us now, we think about the next game, and then we're going to think about the championship game. And you just kind of wonder, okay, who you're going to pitch, what are you going to do, things like that. You got to think about pitch count. But in this first round, when you only have one pitcher, it's just
you have to win.
What do you do?
So they're thinking about possibly having the Wise Central game here tomorrow because of the field conditions. So we'll have to see.
Well, it'd be beneficial to us, because we can kind of come and watch and kind of get an idea
of what they got, because we don't have a whole lot of idea what the Mountain District teams. But all right, let's go back and look internally. Let's look at the Cats. 7-0 win tonight. You piled on the hits. You had 14 hits, but really I don't think they can be too happy with the way they played. No. 2 errors and kind of sloppy, kind of let them hang around.
And like I said, it's kind of weird to look down the scoreboard and see it's 14 hits but only 7 runs. For the past few years, I'm used to looking down there and haven't seen 10 runs but maybe only 6 hits. And that's just because we come through in those game situations, the 4th inning when bases loaded, we seem to somehow come with that big hit. But again, and I know Coach Daniels, he'll talk about it. They'll look at it and things like that. But you got to be happy. You won 7-0. It's not the victory that you thought you're going to have, but give Ridgeview credit. They came here to win. Hang around, and you never know what can happen. And they they gave us a little scare there, because my whole thing was, if you can keep it to about 3, 4, 5-0, make Coach Daniels make a decision, then you got to start thinking about that championship game and who to pitch and what are you going to do with that championship game. I know that's 2 games away, but still, it's just something to think about, because we're definitely going to throw Dixon Wednesday.
So it is definitely interesting the way this game played out, and it worked out perfectly that Zach got that last out right there, and then they were able to bring in Haas to get the last 6 outs. So that really helps kind of bookend this game. That Haas was able to come in, and it was a mixed, I would say, outing. He walked a couple, but struck out 4 right there in the middle in crunch time when it really mattered.
If they can find that third arm, consistent third arm, to keep Zach and Jordan at 75 pitches, it's going to be hard to beat us, And
yeah, we're definitely in the best situation as far as we know. We don't know man, now you don't have to worry about Lebanon whether they pitch. I'd say
Right.
they went to the lefty today because
Right.
I don't know though. I mean, you got to be kind of